All right, here's some ghosts. We got Ghostbusters 2. Even though there's no Ghostbusters 1, but I guess it's because of the movie. They wanted to make sure it's like, no, it has to be Ghostbusters 2 or else kids won't buy it. Go Go Tank. Go Go Godzilla. God Medicine. All right, yeah, there's no ghosts and goblins. Unless it's under like super ghouls and ghosts. Let's check out Ghostbusters 2. Smile, you're on Gameboy camera. I want to say I had a Gameboy camera, but it makes no sense because if I had one, why don't I have one now? Because I could have sworn like either a friend had it or something. Look, they used the graphics from Ghostbusters 2, the good one on the NES. So that's a plus at least. You know, the one that we never got to play, but people in Europe and Japan got to play. Oh, music's not bad. They got the Ghostbusters music down. Alright, so far it's okay. Peter, Ray, Egon, Winston. No Louis Tully? Oh. Alright, there's Dana. There's Janosch. Okay, so it starts off at the very end of the movie? Peter's like, I guess I better go save her. Oh, here you go. He suited up and he got Ray, Egon, and Winston. And then the kids are like, we wanted He-Man! Oh, fuck. This is just the NES Ghostbusters game, isn't it? Oh, you gotta press B. Okay. Ray Parker, yep. Wait, how did Ray die? He's my NPC. He's the NPC. You're telling me Ray is... I have to worry about the AI-controlled NPC character? Oh, that's bad. That's bad. In the NES one, your NPC character never gets hurt, right? The levels are different. Like, this level's different. This is not in the NES game. Well, that sound effect. Get over here, Ray! Jesus! We did it. This house is clean. I don't know, now it's kind of making me want to play Ghostbusters 2 on the NES. The good one, not the garbage one. There's a new Ghostbusters game, or are you talking about the one that came out on 360 that got remastered? Man, you'd think with that Ghostbusters movie they would have been a well, then again, I guess. Oh, I got the slime pack now? What the shit? Now I got Egon? The fuck is this? Now I'm Ray with the slime pack? Yeah, that one's pretty good. That's one of those Let's Plays that I like. That's one of those games that I wish I recorded the Let's Play to and put it on YouTube, because I really enjoyed playing that game. And that was back when we had, like, you know, other, some of the older, like, stream regulars. You know, showing up like Scarface and my father and stuff, which we don't see anymore. I mean, you know, well, my father died, so that's why we don't see him anymore. I don't know what happened to Scarface. I hope he's okay. But, like, that's why I really wish I saved that Let's Play, though. Because, see, I don't know, my dad really liked watching me play Ghostbusters. Jesus Christ, why can't we hit this guy? Alright, the hit detection's a little goofy here. Also, like, I can't... Like, Egon and I can block each other. So I can block Egon, and he can block me, which makes this hallway a bitch. What sucks about the PC version of Ghostbusters, though, it doesn't have, like, the 4-player online feature, which I actually kind of liked in the 360 version. I don't think it was amazing or anything, but it was definitely fun to play for, like, 10 or 12 minutes, especially during, like, Halloween. And it was random, like, you know, the whole point was, like, you know, there'd be, like, 5 levels, and then the ghost would be different, but, like, sometimes a random ghost would appear, and that's what you would try to capture. Alright, is the time up? What is... There's a timer? And so when the timer goes, I get attacked by the Ghostbuster symbol? I can switch out characters. I don't know what the point of that is, though. I mean, I know, like some of them have the slime gun, but it didn't really change how the game was played. Get him, grab him, kill him. Thank you. Who's this guy? Oh, alright, so I got, like, 3 bars down there. We got B and T. I don't know which is my health. I don't know what those, like, what those 2 things on my HUD are, the B and the T. I can assume it's health. Maybe it's both my characters' health. But what does it stand for, though? Because it's like, well, the characters I'm playing as is Peter and Ray, so... BT doesn't make sense for their names. There's Egon again. I wonder who made this game. It didn't tell me. They're using assets from Ghostbusters 2, which was a game made by HAL Laboratories. I got 3 pickaxes. What is that supposed to do? Tubby soft squeeze. Oh, okay. So the pickaxe allows me to break certain walls. It's not clear how that's possible, but that's what it does. Yeah, the voice acting in that Ghostbusters game is really great. Mainly because it's the actual Ghostbusters. Oh, now I can just catch him? It's weird how we got power-ups in this. Like the slime gun, and now I got like a super trap. I don't even have to like hit him, I can just cap him. Alright, super trap wore off. I don't know what the hell. Okay, so there's this guy. Oh, wait, can I get him through the wall? Get over there, Egon! Jesus! No one talks about this game. This game was actually released in the States. I don't think it's amazing or anything like that, but, like, I'm kind of amazed I've never heard of this Ghostbusters game. It's actually kind of competent. Because there is a Ghostbusters game on Game Boy Color, but it's like Crazy Castle, but it's also based off the real Ghostbusters, not based off of the movie Ghostbusters. And that's what I thought this was, but no, it's actually a Ghostbusters game. This is certainly better than the Ghostbusters games that came out on the NES. Outside of New Ghostbusters 2, which this game is basically a Game Boy version of New Ghostbusters 2 with some added stuff like power-ups. The slime gun as far as I know is not in New Ghostbusters 2. Oh, the first episode? Is that the Citizen Ghost episode? Because there is an episode that's pretty much explains like why the Ghostbusters wear their colored uniforms and stuff. Because I think what happens is Slimer escapes, and then they have like a whole flashback talking about Slimer. Oh, about the movie playing in theaters. There's that too. There's also the callback of the movie. Because I guess in the real Ghostbusters universe, the movie is the movie in their universe about them and their encounter with Gozer, which did happen in the real Ghostbusters. Oh, get over here. But the excuse, or not the excuse, but the reasoning I heard about it was when they were closing the door on Gozer, right? You know, they had to do the 4 shots, right, and the door closes. When he reads the names like Aykroyd, Murray, sounds like a law firm. But no, when the door closed, it created an alternate universe. It also changed Egon's hair. And it contaminated their outfits with so much ectoplasm. Wait a minute, this does not happen yet. This already happened according to that cutscene in the beginning of the game. It's the Scoleri brothers! Friends of yours? I tried them for murder! Gave him the chair! The opening cutscene, Janosch already kidnapped Oscar, who was named after a hot dog. Oh, the Casper, oh, the Ghostbusters cameo in Casper? See, I don't count that, because I count that as an alternate universe, because Ray in that has a mustache. Someone else. Who are you gonna call? Someone else. Somebody else. I guess Louis Tully's there. He Okay, I got 4T. I don't know what the fuck that means. There's Peter. I guess I can switch to him. Right now my B is at 4. I got 4 Bs and 4 Ts. Leveled up on that. Fuck you go. Oh my god, AI, come on. Get over there, Peter! Jesus! Ah, fuck it. Yeah, they really shouldn't have made the AI, like, they shouldn't have made the AI partner, like, #1 be able to block me, and me being able to block them. Like, it should be like Left 4 Dead, where we just walk through each other. That would help out a lot. Like, especially in, like, a level like this where you have... I mean, I guess it works well enough. Like, the game does seem like it was tested by human beings, not fucking assholes like Hudson Hawk. But barely tested. The pathfinding on the AI, though, it's pretty bad. I have no control over that second character. All I do is press the B button, and he shoots out a trap. That's it. That's, as far as I know, there's no way I can take control of the trap guy. Now, what would have been neat is if as soon as I hit the ghost, then I control the second guy, right? And then I get in position for the trap, but that's not what happens. What happens is as soon as I hit the ghost, the AI, like, I have to wait for him to get in position and then press B. Come on! No, it's not. Wait, the new Ghostbusters movie? Like, I haven't actually seen the new Ghostbusters movie. And then when it came out, it was like, people seemed to not like it, so I was like, eh. And then there was the whole controversy surrounding it, which made me not like it even more. Because then it became a gender politics issue, and it's like, no, what the issue is like, I don't think anyone wanted a fucking Ghostbusters reboot. And it's not really, yeah, that's the other thing too, it's not really that good. Like, because what I hear is the comedy in the old Ghostbusters, the comedy is for like adults, right? Like the jokes are kind of like set up a certain way. What I hear about the new Ghostbusters is the comedy is like for like little kids. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you farted. You know, that kind of comedy, right? Like, it's not like, it's like fart jokes and goofy sounds and like mugging the camera and shit. Like, it's not like the other ones. And I think for that, like that tone, like, I don't want that. It's modern, yeah. And like, I also heard the special effects were kind of shitty too. And that's really fucked up because Ghostbusters were always known to be like pushing effects. So it's like a kiddie version of Ghostbusters. Because I guess someone thought we need a kiddie version of Ghostbusters. Because, you know, Ghostbusters, only kids like Ghostbusters, even though the demographic is clearly like 30-year-olds. But I haven't actually seen the film, so this is just like, but that's definitely a turnoff right there, is like, if your tone is gonna be like basically if you're gonna make it like, you know those Santa Claus movies, right? If the tone is like that, or like a Disney live action like television show, I don't really want to watch your movie. Like, I don't find that entertaining, I don't find it funny, I just find it annoying, obnoxious, and stupid. I don't find that good comedy. You know, it's kind of like those, like, you know, like when I was making fun of those comedy movies earlier, right? Where it was like, oh, a comedy movie is just nothing but references now. All we got to do is just have like an Avenger reference, a Harry Potter reference, you know, and it's like, that's not really comedy either. You're just making references for stupid people. Like, oh, I know that. I know what that is. That's funny because I know what it is. They thought it was for kids because kids liked it. Yeah, like, well, it also comes off to me as like people who are really out of touch. Like, the people who made the decisions are like some like 50 or 60-year-old business type people that were like, Ghostbusters, yeah, kids love Ghostbusters, but they don't realize, like, yeah, kids loved Ghostbusters in like the 80s and 90s. Those kids have grown up now, you know? Like, also the original Ghostbusters movie was made for adults. It was never made to be a kids thing. It's just that kids liked it. The 4-H club finds no kids there. Yeah, and, like, it just comes off as just like the decision making was basically the Poochie board meeting decision making. A bunch of out of touch people that are trying to figure out what people like, and then they latch on to shit that was cool maybe like 10 or 20 years ago. Am I really out of touch? No, it's a children movie. There's gonna be 13 ghosts. I got 30 seconds to get them all. There's no way that's gonna happen. I will say this though, the level structure of this game, where it's like just one map and then I go around the same map capturing ghosts for like 20 minutes or 2 minutes, that gets old pretty fast. They should have just made this levels, but I guess the reason why is if they just made it levels, maybe there wasn't enough like memory in the Game Boy to make long levels. So this was the best they had, was like, well, they just wander around this like very small level, capturing the same ghosts over and over and over again, until you get enough ghosts to go to the next level. Hey, at least they added boss fights, alright? I did fight the Scaleri brothers, so... But what really pisses me off the most about the new Ghostbusters movie is that I think those people that made those decisions at the executive level or whatever, they're like, oh, the reason it didn't do well was because they were all chicks. That's why. Now we just won't do that anymore. And it's like, no, that's not the reason it didn't do well. That's like barely the reason. Like, that's a very minor reason. Like the biggest reason why it didn't do well was because it was garbage. Like, you just didn't understand what the fuck you were making. No! You know, it's like Cliffy B when he keeps talking about that one game he made that nobody played. The reason why nobody played it was too woke. Yeah, you're right, because gamers really think about politics when they play games. Oh, wait, they don't. They just want to play good games. Just like people that watch fucking movies. They don't care. If you make the movie good, they'll watch it. Yeah, the woman thing didn't bother me. What bothered me was the reboot. Like, you know, it's like, all right, we're gonna just do a whole new thing. Do a reboot. And then change the tone. Yeah, gamers don't care, man. Like just like moviegoers don't care. It's like, no, just make a good movie, man. Like, you're overthinking this way too much. Like, Christian Wiig's in that movie, right? The Ghostbusters one? I like Christian Wiig. I think she's really funny. That's all, man. You're right, Janine was the best character, Sock. There's like needless changes too, like in their uniforms. Okay, this is just a minor thing. All right, why do they have this orange sash shit going on? Oh yeah, I forgot about. I always forget Sigourney Weaver's in Ghostbusters as Dana. And it's weird too, because whenever I see her in Ghostbusters, I don't think, oh, it's Ripley from Aliens. You think that would be like the first thing, but no, it's like, no, it's... I see her as Dana. No, oh, you're right. Only Zool. You know, there's a deleted scene of Ghostbusters 2 where they try to explain why Dana has her kid kidnapped. Apparently, she's from like a cursed family. Like, it runs in her blood, which I think was a line added in case they were going to make a third one and have Sigourney Weaver in it as well. Because, again, she's not a Ghostbuster, so there's no real reason to put her in the sequel. Or somehow have, like, this, you know, whatever the evil thing be about her. But if you just throw a throwaway line that Ray says, it's like, oh, some families are cursed. There's some deleted scenes in Ghostbusters 2. Like, there's a deleted scene where Louis Tully tries to capture Slimer. I think that one's pretty neat. There's also one where Ray drives the car like a maniac because he's possessed by Vigo. We see a little bit of that scene in the montage because we see, like, this sharp turn and then Peter's, like, in the back. He's like, whoa, what was that? That's probably from that scene where Ray drives like a maniac, but was cut out of the movie. I personally don't think that scene is necessary, but so I can see why it was cut. Like, a lot of the stuff cut out, I can see why it was cut. It's not like when I watch Star Wars and I'm like, why the fuck did you cut that scene out? You know, like, oh, fuck the novelization. It's in the Ghostbusters 2 coloring book. That's how I know it exists. Damn, it sucks that they can hit my NPC partner. That's what got me killed too, by the way. It wasn't my main character dying, it was the NPC getting hit. There we go, finally. Jesus. Alright, 13 more ghosts, here we go. Speaking of 13 ghosts, that was an okay movie. I remember when I watched 13th Ghost, I was thinking, like, you know, this could be, like, because the ghost reminded me a lot of Ghostbusters, the way the effects were done, and how interesting they were, and I was like, you know what? This is how a Ghostbusters movie should be. Fucking, really? You slimed me. It's like a river of slime! Why is Egon, like, being all cool kid? There we go, that makes more sense, Peter being all cool kid. That's like the Ghostbusters 2 movie, right? Where Peter does jack shit throughout the whole movie until the very end when he puts on the outfit. I think Bill Murray's in the Ghostbusters uniform for a total of maybe 5 or 10 minutes throughout that whole movie. The Frighteners? What is that movie like? I did like Bill Murray's improv when he takes pictures of Vigo. In fact, all of Bill Murray's improv lines when he makes fun of Vigo are like my favorite. Like ancient Sumerian guy. He misses his kitten! That's what he needs. He needs a kitten! I'll just draw one here by the castle. They can see ghosts and kind of helps him out of deal. Oh, okay. To help him move on kind of deal, you know? And then when he takes pictures of Vigo, he's all like, yeah, destroy me! Destroy me! Come on, destroy me! I've worked with better, but not much. Oh, there's a... Oh, shit. The ghost breaking all the rules. Son of a bitch. There we go. Hey, Egon, you got that PKE meter? We need to find the next ghost. It's somewhere around here. We gotta find it before the timer ends and it turns into a Ghostbusters symbol. Which I guess is a bad thing. I don't know. I don't know why there's a timer. If the game doesn't end when the time is up, it just turns the last ghost into a Ghostbusters symbol. Which, is that supposed to, like, scare me, or is that bad? I don't know. Where the fuck is this ghost? There's one ghost left. I've been to every corner of... There he is. Good, he's there. We can't reach him. That's fantastic. Wait, I think I've heard of this movie. Like, yeah, it was like Michael J. Fox goes around and he sees like ghosts. I thought that was like Ghosts in Philadelphia or something. There he is. Found you. Whee! Floor 4 of the sewers. Jesus Christ, come on! There you go. You gonna get him? You gotta turn to the right, man, then you can get him. No, you're just gonna... Alright. So that's the most frustrating part about this game, really, is my NPC AI that won't capture the ghost sometimes. We got some ghosts from the movies. We got Slimer. Not these guys. There were no cute one-eyed ghosts in the movie, as far as I remember. What does that do? Does that make me faster? Oh, I can walk on water. I'm Jesus Christ now. Have you guys accepted Egon Christ into your life? Cool, smart guy. The best quote from the 360 version of Ghostbusters is when Egon goes, "We eat gods for breakfast." At the end. Because the guy's like, "How could you do this? I am a god!" And he's like, "We eat god." Hey, Winston, I haven't seen you. Oh, yeah, maybe I should get Winston here. Oh, do I lose my power-up? Oh, but he has the super trap. Alright, so Egon can walk on water, but fucking Winston gave me the super trap, and they're all the monsters, or the ghosts are all frozen. I love Egon, man. Like in Ghostbusters 2, it's like, "We're working here, we don't bother you when you're working here, what are you doing?" And Egon's like, "Yo." like Egon pretending to be a construction worker. Yeah, rest in peace, Harold Ramis. Remember in Ghostbusters 2 when she's talking to Egon and he kept that couple in that room for like 5 hours and raised the temperature? like, that's the thing I think about Egon. Like, I don't think Egon's like, it's good that Egon's on our side, because if it wasn't, he'd be an evil genius. And he murdered tissue damaged. You're so nice to take care of that man. It's like, I don't think he's human. He gives that little girl the puppy and he's like, "Let's see what happens when we take the puppy away." Even when he talks to Dana, right? Like, remember how he mentions Peter? He mentions Peter and then he immediately scans Dana because he's studying human emotions. That's what he's doing in his research thing. So he even studied Dana. He said it on purpose to see what she would react to. The little subtleties in that. Oh, fuck the ghost train. So at least in the boss fights, they had the common courtesy to make the NPC partner invincible. This part in the movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. The ghost heads. Go down the sewer. Hello! Hello! And then Winston goes, "Hello!" And then the thing goes, "Winston!" It's like, oh shit, it knows our name. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go get the packs. Let's get the packs. If I said hello into a gaping abysmal darkness and it responded with my name, I would definitely go get the packs at that point. I'd say, fuck this place, I'm out. Like, no way. Egon and Ray, well, they're the nerds of the squad, so that's why they hang out together the most. Like, I think Ray is the one, like, he's the glue, because he gets along with every character. Like, Ray gets along with Peter, Winston, and Egon. He's relatable to all three of them. Egon is more relatable to Ray than, say, like, Peter or Winston. And then Peter, like, I guess he's more relatable to Ray as well than he is to, like, Egon. And, like Egon and Winston to him are just like, you know, Egon's a smart guy and Winston's another coworker. That's how he sees it, because Peter's kind of a selfish prick like that. But I also feel like Winston and Ray are the workhorse of the Ghostbusters. They're the ones that put in the most hours. I base this a lot on Ghostbusters 2, because Peter fucks off quite a lot in Ghostbusters 2. I mean, he's there in the montage scenes, but so my assumption is Peter only gets called in on the big jobs, but all the little shit is like basically Ray and Winston driving around. I think Ray and Winston are the younger guys too, so it would make sense that they do most of the footwork. You want to know something really racist about Winston, though? In the cartoon series, right, the real Ghostbusters, for season 2, they asked the writers to give Winston a role, and the role they gave him was driver. So in other words, Winston would be driving the Ecto-1 to all the stuff, right? That was his role. And it made no sense, because that's what Ray does. And they wanted to get rid of Ray. They thought Ray was a pointless character. Now, granted, these were the studio executives, not the writers that wrote for the show. This was just shit they had to hear from their bosses. Like, alright, so we gotta have Winston be the driver. Okay. Make Janine less sexy. Alright. Her glasses scare children. That was the actual memo they got. Her glasses scare children. Yeah, Ray puts a triple mortgage on his house that his family left him. Because he got schemed by Peter, because Peter's such a great smooth talker. Ray's the financer. He also finances Ray's occult books. He bought the car. He overpaid for the car, but, you know, the thing is, Ray has very bad business sense. He's a very excitable guy, though, because when they went to the ghost house, you know, when they went to the firehouse, he's like, this place is great! Have you seen this pole? You gotta try out this pole. We gotta stay here tonight, you know. Sleep here, check it out. Is this Dana, or is this the lawyer chick? I'm gonna assume that's Dana. She didn't have glasses on, so I don't count her as Janine. Also, this looks like, you see all these easels? So this is clearly the museum, right? This is the art gallery, not the whatchamacallit, the courthouse. So that has to be Dana. You know, when I think about it too, the Ghostbusters, it must be a great team to work for, you know what I mean? Because, like, it makes sense too. It's like, why is Egon not going on the missions with him? Because he builds the tech. He has to study shit. The nearest convenient parallel dimension. I mean, he tried to be professional with the gods. Even though Peter does seem to be kind of a shit boss to Janine a little bit. But then again, that's why I like Janine, because you have to figure Janine has to be one tough cookie, because she has to deal with Peter Venkman. You know what I mean? That's like, and we see that in the cartoon, like her character in the cartoon, before they ruined her, is that she's, you know, like, she's, you know, sexy, attractive, and shit like that, and she keeps the other fuckers at bay. But she's clearly attracted to smart men, or at least men with glasses, hence Egon, and Louis Tully. So a guy like Peter Venkman would never have a chance with Janine. He's too brash. He's more like a game show host. Employment in many of our fast food restaurants. And she's like, I've quit better jobs than this. Ghostbusters, what do you want? Now, I always liked Janine and Louis as backup Ghostbusters. I never thought that they should be full-time Ghostbusters. But it makes sense to have, like, Janine and Louis know how to use the proton packs, as well as have their own outfits, which they did in the cartoons. Janine has her own outfit. But having Janine go on everyday calls, I feel is not necessary. She should only put on the outfit and the proton pack in case, you know, like, the guys are unavailable or they're in deep shit. Which is kind of what she did in the cartoon, because that's when we see her. She puts on, I think, Peter's outfit and a proton pack, and she saves him from the boogeyman, I believe. Which I actually really like the Boogeyman episode in Real Ghostbusters because it's a very Egon-centric episode. Because we find out that when Egon was a child, he was tormented every night by the Boogeyman that would come in and basically just scare the shit out of him and fuck with him all night. And Egon being that scientific guy, he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know, like, oh, it was... You know, he just kind of forgot about it or just thought that it was all in his head until these, like, little kids show up to the fire station and they're like, they got a piggy bank and they want to hire the Ghostbusters to take on the Boogeyman, and all the other Ghostbusters are like, they're treating it like a joke, you know? It's like, all right, kids, we'll take on the Boogeyman and shit. But then Egon's like, no, I'll do this. We'll do it for free. And they don't understand why Egon has such a hard-on to take on the Boogeyman. It's because it's the same guy that tormented him as a kid. We also get a lot of Winston in that too, because I think Winston shows up to the kid's house and he parks the Ecto-1 like in front of their house and he's like, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. Shit. There's a lot of really good moments like that in the original Ghostbusters cartoon. Like Miss Fathersham's attic. That's probably my favorite episode. The music was good too, like the tones it had. It had good writing because it was written by J. Michael Straczynski, the same son of a bitch who made Babylon 5. And he also wrote for comic books. He did the Spider-Man run in the 2000s stuff. The Lost Things. I don't remember that episode. But I will talk about Miss Fathersham's attic. Oh, the missing things go. Yeah, that, like, I remember that one. I remember the Doomsday episode where they found the door. Yeah, Peter finds this, they find all this old stuff that they've lost, like, since they were kids. Those were always neat, like the really surreal episodes. The Winston-centric episode where he has to play a baseball game against demons, like, that one's pretty good, too. We also get to find out a lot more about Winston, like how his family's in construction, but he didn't want to go that route, so he wanted to do his own thing. Where's the... There's 29 ghosts. You think I'd find one? But yeah, Miss Fathersham's attic starts with this little old lady that shows up to the fire station. And she asks the Ghostbusters, like, you know, she tells the Ghostbusters a story of how when she was a kid, her father did something in the attic. Like, he was summoning very evil spirits in the attic, possibly to get rich, you know, for like power and whatever. And then one day he summoned something too powerful and he told his daughter never to go up in the attic, ever, and she never did. But as she's gotten older, like, she's a little old lady now, like, she hears the noises in the attic, so she wants the Ghostbusters to go and investigate. And the person she talks to is Peter, who's usually this very selfish, arrogant kind of character. But Peter's like, okay, we'll do it. And he said we'll do it for free. I like how Winston just ran through the wall. And all the other Ghostbusters, including Janine, are like shocked. They're like, wait, why are we doing this for free? Like, you out of all people. And he's like, she's just a little old lady. She lives alone. We'll just do this. But it's because there's context, right? There's subtext to what he's doing in the episode. It's never mentioned outright why he helps the old lady out. Fuck. But if you read into the subtext, right, he mentions things in the episode about how the old lady reminds him of his mother, right? Because at the end of the episode, she offers the Ghostbusters to have a cup of tea with him. And they're like, oh, we're busy, we got another case to do. And then Peter stops in the lawn, and he has a little reflection. And this is also when Peter was voiced by Lorenzo Music. And Lorenzo Music would do a great job giving Peter this sort of melancholy, smart-ass behavior. Like, he came off as a character that uses humor to cover up sadness of some sort, or disappointment. And we see it there because he says, like, he says that she's just an old lady, and that she reminds him of his mother, and he never got a chance. Like, that's what he says, right? So we can assume from the subtext that his mother must have recently passed away. And this old lady reminds him of his mother, so that's why he did it for free. And then he goes back in and he has a cup of tea with her. Also, the shit they see in that act is fucked up. Like, it's not Hellraiser fucked up, but it's definitely, like, high-level fucked up. They're dealing with some, like, very powerful demon in that attic. So even the action part of the show was good. Because there's, like, episodes like Call of Cthulhu, you know, where Peter's hitting on women. That was the other thing they changed, too. The other thing the executives wanted to change with the cartoon was Peter can no longer hit on women. And it's like, why? Like, that's his character. It's like, so I guess every character in the show should be completely bland and have nothing interesting about them at all. Is what, basically what the executives wanted Ghostbusters to be. And then that's when we get season 2 and 3 of Ghostbusters, and it's, like, really bad. But, like, I think that's the reason I like Peter Bateman's character. He's a hard character to write, because when you think about it, he's an obnoxious, unlikable person, right? For the most part. But the thing is, though, he's actually a really big hero. We look at Ghostbusters 1. You know, he makes all these jokes and shit about, like, against women and stuff like that, but he doesn't take advantage of Dana. Like, he knocks her out, right? He doesn't take advantage of her and stuff like that. Like, if he really was this creep, he would have did that. He would have taken advantage of her when she was unconscious. He doesn't do that. Second, when they talk about how to beat the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Egon brings up the crossing the stream theory. And Peter's on board with this. Yeah, he gets creeped out because he knows Dana is not in control. Do you want this body? It's like, oh, I think there's enough in you already. You know, he's actually trying to be a scientist. But yeah, out of all the characters to accept the only way we're gonna beat the bad guy is if we kill ourselves to beat the bad guy, Peter's the first one to go like, all right, let's do it. And to every Ghostbusters credit, not one of them chickened out of that. He's like, we're gonna take it. I love this plan! And then at the end, right, when Ray's like, oh, it smells like burnt dog hair. And oh, I'm sorry, Peter. And Peter's like, they're having an actual moment. You know, he's not cracking jokes. He's not doing horn dog lines or anything like that. He's legitimately sad that Dana's dead. Yeah, I mean, he's a womanizer, but he's like Duke Nukem. You know what I mean? Like, he's a womanizer, but I don't consider him, like, a bad person for being a womanizer. He doesn't take advantage of women or anything like that. He just likes women. Which, again, goes back to the Miss Fathersham episode because he helps out an old lady, you know? And he hits on college kids and shit like that, like, you know, the girl in the first movie and stuff like that, but he generally does care. Alright, well, that was Ghostbusters on Game Boy. Gradius, the interstellar ass! I know it's probably assault, but still. What do you think Gremlins is like on this? I kind of want to still talk about Ghostbusters. So I'm gonna go to the Famicom. You might get sued for saying that. I don't, like, there's a difference between saying something and harassment, I feel. I don't think Peter Venkman crosses the line into harassment. He doesn't show up at your door when the lights are out and asks, how's your baby doing and can you come in? He doesn't do shit like that. He doesn't inappropriately touch people that don't want to be touched. He doesn't, you know, like Janosch. Janosch is a creep, okay? Like, if you see Janosch and how he acts in Ghostbusters 2, he shows up in the middle of the night, you know, at Dana's apartment just to creep her out. And then he kind of always looks at her, smells her, touches her, and she notices this because she says it to Peter. And she notices that about the painting as well. So Janosch, now that's a creep. I think it's called the new Ghostbusters. Or not. Maybe it's just new? Under N? Yep, there it is. I guess I'll play the European one so it's in English. We didn't get this game. Because I think what it was Acclaim had publishing rights to Ghostbusters games in the USA. And this wasn't made by Acclaim, so we didn't get it. It might be running slightly faster, though, because I'm playing the PAL game on an NTSC console, but you know what? Whatever. So the music might be a little bit faster than it should be. Actually, I can check this right now. The best way to check it is to play the Japanese game and see if the music's faster. Because that one's NTSC. Okay, this is how the game's supposed to run. It's like a little bit faster, right? I'm not going crazy. Like, listen to the music. And this is how it's supposed to be. What's up, Haziata? And then here's the European version. And now listen, it sounds a little bit quicker, doesn't it? Yeah, that's sped up. That's clearly sped up. This is why it sucks when you play PAL games on NTSC, because it'll always make the game a little bit faster. And that might be a good thing. Maybe you want it to be faster. Maybe you're like, I don't want that slow-ass gameplay. I'll play the Japanese version. Another thing I liked about Ghostbusters, and we see this in the movie, right? And this happens again in another episode, in an episode of the cartoon, where it's like some guy that sounds like Elvis wants to bring about the end of the world using a flute. And it's one of those things where it's like the Ghostbusters are gonna have to sacrifice themselves to save the world, and they do it again. They've done, like in the cartoon, they did it like 5 times. I'm gonna get Peter. What do you think? Either Ray or Egon? Totally makes no sense. You remember the... Yeah, I remember the flute one because that dude just talked like Elvis and he had his little partner. And he was really sad because he was like... It was like Shandor, right? From the first movie. After World War I, Shandor thought humanity was so sick that it shouldn't continue, so he brought about the end of the world. The same kind of plot happens there with the flute. The guy thinks the world is so terrible that he might as well destroy it. Bring the end of the world. I'm gonna get Ray. But there's like one woman that still likes him or something, and then that kind of brings him out of it, and then I guess the Ghostbusters heroics makes him stop playing the flute. There's also an episode of the Ghostbusters where they bust the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's like, I'm doing this because humanity sucks. It's like, well, alright, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but like, how's this going to make it any better? Like, I don't know, man. It's not... Like, you got some good points here, but I don't think this is the solution. Oh, shit. We can save Dana. You're going to destroy it. Yeah, that old chestnut, the humanity's too sick to live. Have I been playing the European version of this game all this time? I probably have been. Because I'm like, hey, you know, I'm having more fun with this now than I usually have. So maybe it's like, oh, I've been playing the sped up version of this game all... You know, I never got into Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, like, they were after my time of Adult Swimming. It seems like I should have, though, because it's like, now everything's Rick and Morty, huh? Then again, now Rick and Morty's old. Now there's another new thing. Man, I'm old. Holy crap. I've been watching The Simpsons? I'm older than Marge Simpson. I'm older than Homer Simpson. You know how fucking weird that is for me? Marge is 32 years old. How the fuck? Rick and Morty's incredible. I might check it out. Oh, there's some of those like in Futurama, like with the fucking dog episode. They got letters for that episode, man. You know, like I know I'm talking about thought-provoking Ghostbusters episodes, you know, like Miss Fathersham's attic and shit like that, but it's like, man, that fucking dog episode of Futurama came out of left field, and that was like, oh, dude. Like, I just wanted to watch a fun little cartoon, now you made me sad. Hey, welcome back, Gingivitis. Hey, I was just talking about Futurama. You know, my two favorite episodes of Futurama. You know, the Slurm Factory one and Fry's dog. Luck of the Fryish is pretty good, too. Who are those disgusting people? Oh, those are Oompa Loompas. They think they have a good union, but they don't. Goes to robot present. Oh yeah, because he thinks he's the stabbing machine. He's a robot. Oh, he beats that one robot that is just all he does is stab things. You know, when you look at... Wait. If you look at the ooze, I think it has a little smiley face with eyeballs. Let's look again, shall we? Yes, it does. Roberto. There's Janos. Better watch out, that's why I practice my stab. Who would win? Could Roberto beat Clamps? You think Clamps could beat him? Yep, look at that ooze. I don't know why I find that funny. Like, why would you give it a face? Well, it was happy. It wasn't negative ooze. Why'd the ghost pop out of it? Did you not watch the movie? If the ooze is happy, then it's good ooze, and we can use it to make the Statue of Liberty walk around and shit. You smell my oozits? Clamp Roberto stabbings. I think Clamps could take him out, because Clamps, his hands are his clamps. You can just disarm Roberto, and he's got jack shit. Clamps has him then. That's why Clamps works for the Robot Mafia, and Roberto's just a thug. Hey, you know what? These ghosts... Oh, what is that? Is that a battle between Clamps and... Stand back, I gotta practice. Alright. Sure, I'll copyright strike my own stream. Let's do it.
Hi, Red.
Roberto! What are you doing here?
I got busted robbing that bank again.
Why would you hold up the same bank twice?
That first time was just to case the joint and rob it a little. What's the matter? You scared? Noticeably? I'll say. Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing.
No! Please! Help! Stop it! Police!
Hey, keep it down in there! I'm tuning my banjo!
Jeez, Red, quit cowering. You call yourself a robot?
I'm not a robot! I'm not a robot!
And that'll do it. That'll make you think you're a robot. Boop. The very best of Zoidberg. Alright, okay, back to this. Alright, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, these ghosts actually have a callback in the new Ghostbusters game, because in the new Ghostbusters game, a lot of the ghosts are construction workers and shit. And the reason being is, like, you know, during the 1920s and 1930s when building New York, a lot of people died in construction. Because, you know, safety and all that good shit, right? So it makes sense that some of the ghosts would be construction workers or miners, the people who built these tunnels, who built these buildings. I think that's another reason I like Ghostbusters, is like, there is a sense of history and a sense of... There's a lot of New York pride in it too. Which, I've never lived in New York, I've only been there like when I was a little kid, so... But like, I don't know why, I really like movies that have that kind of like... I don't know, you know, that New York kind of, what's it called? It's not positivity, but that New York attitude, you know? Because even the mayor's like, look, treating people like shit is every God-given New Yorker's right. You want me to tell every New Yorker not to be an asshole? Yeah, they got... I mean, that was the labor, man. They got shit jobs that fucked up their bodies, fucked up their lungs if they didn't die on the job. Yeah, it sucked. Also, this music's in the fucking movie, man. You ever see the Ghostbusters 2 music video? It stinks. But yeah, this is definitely... This is in the movie. It's probably during... Because I remember this. That guitar part. That's coming up. That part. Fucked up the video. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about why that movie is kind of like not very good. Oh yeah, the hotel. Well, what I like about the game is that it expands on Shandor and the cult. Oh, and I think a lot of that's because Dan Aykroyd like helped write the game, right? Like Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd kind of like did shit to make sure the game would like be in canon. And knowing Dan Aykroyd, he's like Tolkien. In other words, When he writes something, he writes a whole bunch of shit to explain why something is the way it is. But it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be in the movie. Like, he did that with Ghostbusters. Because it was a shit plot. Yeah, I know, like, that was basically what we were getting at, was like, it wasn't because it was female Ghostbusters. That, if it was like a Ghostbusters movie, like the Ghostbusters are old men, and they need to hire a new team of Ghostbusters, you know what I mean? Like, at least a new, like a team that goes on missions. Okay, fine. I don't care if they're dudes or chicks. It doesn't matter to me, right? But when you do a reboot of Ghostbusters, it's like, all right, now it's like none of those movies happened. This is brand new. It's just nothing but Ghostbusters. And it's like, a reboot is not, in my mind, I don't care. You know, I'd rather it be a sequel and actually have, like, be a continuation. First off, so that kind of pissed me off. Second, the tone of the movie. The comedy in that movie is like little kid comedy. Not really like adult comedy, you know, like in other words, instead of rated R or PG-13 comedy, we get PG comedy. And it's like, you know, like pie and face type comedy. It's not really Ghostbusters. Actually, that is kind of Ghostbusters, like when Peter got slimed, but it's just very juvenile humor. And then like subpar special effects too. Handing the Ghostbusters mantle over. That's what it was. Ghostbusters 3. There was a lot of like scripts of Ghostbusters 3 flying around, right? There was the Chris Farley script, which kind of is sort of what the Ghostbusters game is, because the whole point of the Chris Farley script was Chris Farley was going to be a Ghostbuster, right? He'd be one of the new ones, and he'd be you know, like a new generation, and then they would start the franchise. Because originally when Dan Aykroyd wrote the Ghostbusters, he wrote it as like a franchise. In other words, like, there are Ghostbusters in every city, and they were like, we don't have the money to make this movie. And they're like, okay, then I'll just make it about the first Ghostbusters then. Which is what the game sets up too. It sets up the franchise, because there has to be ghosts in other places than just New York. You know, just like if the Ghostbusters are a necessary utility, you know, like let's say, I guess they're closer to exterminators, right? Like everyone has infestations, so there has to be exterminator services in every city, just like there has to be like a police force or like a fire department. You know, these are like basic services. So if ghosts exist, then there has to be Ghostbusters in every city. So I think Ghostbusters 3, the original script, was supposed to have Chris Farley kind of like, they hand the mantle over to him, and then maybe he goes to California and does a Ghostbusters thing, you know, or some shit like that. That way they can change the city and then have sequels with Chris Farley and his Ghostbuster team, but that obviously didn't work out. The other script that was passed around was Bill Murray dying and being a ghost. And like some kind of plot involving, like, he finds out something in the spirit world. You know, and then he helps out the Ghostbusters and then moves on to the next plane of existence. And that one was written because Bill Murray doesn't like Ghostbusters. He doesn't want to do Ghostbusters. He really hates Ghostbusters. This is evident in Ghostbusters 2. We don't see him in the outfit hardly at all. You know what I mean? Even though, funny enough, Ghostbusters revitalized his whole career. But I think the thing was, from a personal, like, comedic standpoint, the reason why he doesn't like Ghostbusters 2 is he doesn't feel like he was very funny in it. And I thought he was okay in it. I don't think Ghostbusters 2 is as good as Ghostbusters 1, but I don't think it's not fucking terrible like, say, like Highlander 2 is to the first movie. Sarcastic like. I think Bill Murray, to me there's like 3 types of Bill Murray characters, right? And I think Peter Bateman is the best. Like, it is the most like I guess sarcastically heroic type character, which we don't really get to see Bill play too much. You know, sometimes he plays either the buffoon like he does in Caddyshack, or the complete asshole like in Kingpin. You know, the I'm better than everybody because I'm the, you know, like that's what he does in Groundhog Day. That's what he does in Scrooged, where he's just, I'm a big fucking asshole, and I love it, and I'm the best shit. And like, I like that Bill Murray too. Don't get me wrong, like I love his performances like that, especially in Scrooge. But the reason why I like Scrooge and Groundhog Day is that he later on turns into the Peter Venkman Bill Murray. You know, in other words, it's like, yeah, he's an asshole and shit like that, but he's like, you know, he realizes, like, maybe you shouldn't, you know, be that much of an asshole. He just cut it down a little bit. Like, you could still be a sarcastic butthead and say shit. Jesus, get him, damn it! Just come on. Yeah, Caddyshack. Speaking of Caddyshack, and Bill Murray's character in Caddyshack, I'm gonna go back to Ghostbusters here, and this is how I'm gonna do it. So, in the cartoon version of Ghostbusters, like season 3 or so, they had to change the voice actor for Peter. Because the original voice actor for Peter Venkman was Lorenzo Music, who was Garfield. And Bill Murray didn't like that. Bill Murray was like, I don't want Garfield to be the voice of Peter Venkman. So they fired Lorenzo Music, and then they got Dave Coulier from Full House. You know, not Uncle Jet, the shit uncle that no one cares about, that all he can do is Rockin' Bullwinkle impersonations. So they got him to do the voice of Peter Venkman. And what he brought to the table was he basically just did a Bill Murray impersonation from Caddyshack. So instead of Peter Venkman Bill Murray, we get Caddyshack Bill Murray, and I don't think that works out well. The loser unk, he really is. I hate to say it. I liked him as a kid. I liked Dave Cooley, and then again, I watched Full House as a kid. I didn't know any better. I'm sorry. So that's why, like, sometimes you'll hear Peter Venkman, his voice will be completely different, and his character will be completely assassinated. Just like Janine. Now, it takes a man to admit they watched Full House. Though I was never a Full House aficionado. In other words, I could never tell the difference between Mary-Kate or Ashley. Some people are that good. They can be like, oh, that's Mary-Kate, that's Ashley. It's like, I don't... Fuck, who knows which twin that is. Is it kind of fucked up that, like, I watched a lot of Full House, but I can't... I can probably remember, like, 3 episodes? Yet as a kid, I didn't see that much Ghostbusters, but the episodes I did see, I remember perfectly. Like... kind of tells you something about the writing quality of Full House. And the same thing with Family Matters. Like, I watched Family Matters, Full House... like all those like live action sitcoms, and for the life of me, I can probably only remember maybe 2 or 3 plots. Home Improvement, yeah, that's another one. I remember Home Improvement being alright, though. Like, I remember, like, kind of enjoying it. The funny thing is, I never thought any of those shows were funny. You know what I mean? Like they were just kind of like, I would just have them on, or I'd watch them because they were on, but I never, like, laughed out loud. At the dockyard where the men smell like fish. But then a show like, you know, Seinfeld, like, and then I'd watch a show like Seinfeld. I remember laughing my ass off of that, but I guess that's why I remember the episodes. But then again, Seinfeld's like a huge, that's a cut above your Full House and your, what's it called? Oh, fuck. You know, the one where they were in high school. Saved by the Bell. Like, there's a huge difference between something like Full House and Saved by the Bell and something like Seinfeld. Kramer all over. Remember the one where it's like I think there was a kitchen near Kramer, and it had like in Kramer's side of the apartment, and it had a neon sign, and it was red, and it made Kramer constantly see things in red, and he would go over to be like, "Why are you pouring tomato soup into the milk? I thought it was milk." They remain saved by the bell. Why? And escapes. Oh, the wager. Yeah, the wager was based on honor. He gets the Merv Griffin set, and I like how he gets the Merv Griffin set, and people come over to Kramer's place, and they never ever did that before. But because for that episode, people had to go to Kramer's house. They had to go there and be guests on the Merv Griffin show. What I liked was the banter in between. That's also the episode, I believe, where Jerry dates the girl who has that awesome toy collection. And she won't let him play with the fucking toys, so he has to drug her to play with the toys, and then Elaine finds out about it, and she's all like, "How dare you drug this woman and take advantage of her?" And it's like, well, she also has this like easy bake oven. And then she's like, "What? I never got to play with that as a kid." And so then he invites her over, and they all eat the turkey, and then when... and she also has a scuba G.I. Joe, and that's like what George really likes. And then George comes over with Jerry, and they drug her, and they just play with her toys. And then they talk to Kramer about it. He's like, "Look, guys, you can't talk about that shit on my show." It's like... They're remaking everything because they can't make anything themselves. There's that. I think it's also the problem of, like, any original idea, like, I don't know, a lot of original ideas kind of suck anyways, too. Moops! I'm sorry, it's the moops. That's a misspelling. There's no such thing as the moops. It's the Moors. Every time I play Medieval Total War, that's what I think of. Every time the Moors pop up, I was like, "Oh shit, it's the moots." Fuck. Remember that episode where George's father was selling computers? And he hired that one guy that was like really good at selling, but it turned out he just really liked to hit the bell. He just liked the sound of it. Man, fuck the Bubble Boy. That's right, fuck him. I hate the Bubble Boy. He's a huge asshole. George was too nice to the Bubble Boy, if you ask me. So unlike the Game Boy version of this game, my AI NPC whatever is a lot more manageable. Number one, he doesn't like have any collision. So in other words, I can't run into him, he can't run into me. That helps out a lot. That also probably is why he's so good at navigating the level a little bit. And also he's he can't be hurt. That's really good. I don't know why they changed that shit in the Game Boy version. Festivus, George's dad, is like, "One Christmas I was reaching up for a doll, another father was reaching for the very same doll, and as I rain blows upon him, I thought there has to be a better way." It does have that Pokemon engine look to it, you know, that old school Pokemon RPG look. I mean, it makes sense. A lot of NES RPGs have that look too. Can't. The other great one was the Kramer episode where it's like, for whatever reason, Jerry convinces him to take his shoes to the shoe repair place. And he doesn't want to because he's like, "No, they'll just rip me off." It's like, it's just a shoe repair. I'm just gonna take it there. And then like the next day they're gone. And then Kramer talks about the long con. Because he's like, "No, they got my shoes and now they're gone." And then like Jerry's like, "Okay, so they open up a mom and pop shoe store for 20 years. honor their customers for 20 years, and then the moment they get your shoes, they're out of here. And then Kramer's like, it's the long con, Jerry, the long con. Like, that's one hell of a long con. The Frogger machine? Oh my god. We gotta figure out a way to keep the Frogger machine powered up when we move it across the street. Then the one where George really liked sleeping under his desk, like he just really loved sleeping there. And it looked like he was a really good worker because he was there at work early and he'd be the last guy to leave, but it just turned out he was just sleeping under his desk. Oh, money! That's new! Ask Jerry if it's weird wearing a cape. He makes a little fort. Is that when George starts to get obsessed with capes and like canes? Because, you know, there's that one episode where that girl, that really attractive girl, mistakes George for her boyfriend. And George is like, wait, whoa, your boyfriend looks like me? and he wonders all this shit about him. It's like, does he use a cane? Which I guess, yeah, if I looked like George and there was a chick... But you see, that joke doesn't work because here's the fucked up thing. All of George's girlfriends were way hotter than anything a guy like George should ever be able to get anyways. So the joke, in my mind, didn't work. I could also make the argument for Jerry as well. Like, the girlfriends that Jerry, Kramer, and George got were like 2 or 3 tiers above them. But hey, it's television. That one chick that Jerry dated with the belly button, that like, you know, when he was sleeping, he would give it a voice and it'd be like, ho, ho, ho. That's how you know he's a good seller. That one time he dated a woman that was named Lois just so he could call her Lois, you know, because Jerry has a Superman thing going on. Hey, what's up, Cyril Oris? How you doing? Oh shit, that was cool. I don't think I'll make it to the end though of this game. Boopity boop. Shit. Who are these guys? Are these guys supposed to be the Samwine or whatever? Probably not. They're just pumpkin enemies. No, Analogue doesn't improve audio. I mean, it pumps it out in stereo, but it's like fake stereo. It's like if you use a splitter cable with your NES for the audio jack, which is what I do for the NES because I don't like my shit coming out of one speaker, so I buy a splitter cable and just plug it in there and then have it go out to left and right speakers. Because the NES will always be, unless someone wants to go in there and hack every game and make it stereo or whatever. No one else streams it sounds this clean. I also feel a lot of streamers turn down their gameplay volume a lot. Whereas I don't really like to do that. I like to have the volume, because I mean, like, I feel like the volume is... Because I'm also under this idea, like, look, I know people don't come here for me. They come here to see the games. Like, so I'm going to show you the games. I'm going to show you the games. You're going to hear the games. You're going to... You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of always been my mentality when it comes to streaming games. It's like, the games are the showcase. But I could be like a booby streamer. We could do this. We could have it full screen, and then I could put the game up here, like really small, like where Michael Keaton Batman is. I could just have it up here. Yeah, maybe make the camera a little lower, but yeah. All right, back to this. Come here for all right. Well, I am the host slash presenter, right? So that's kind of what I try to do in my role. You know, like in Top Gear. Like I like the guys in Top Gear, but like if they're not talking about cars or showing me cars, it's like eh. That's kind of I feel like the same shit here. It's like, well, I gotta play a game. Like if I were to describe my goals for how I would like a stream to be, is like I gotta play a game. I gotta have something to talk about with the game. And the game like has to be at the very least like you know, pristine. In other words, frame rate's okay, sounds okay, shit like that. I mean, yeah, Sock's here for the court order. Oh, it's nice of you to say ball busting, Dave. Oh, there we go. It's like, oh no, Oscar, there's Janosch. Janosch took my baby. He's going to the museum. And Harley did. Oh, really? Okay. I also try to keep my, like, anything I say, like, stories or plots related to what I'm playing. Do, you know, like, right now I'm playing Ghostbusters, so a lot of Ghostbusters. This song is kind of weird, because technically this song is in the movie, but not this part of it. This, like, carnival sound. It's like they mixed two songs together for the soundtrack of this level. One of it's actually in the movie, and one's like this generic carnival. Yeah, this part. Do 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 do. That's a song in the actual movie. I know this because I had the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack on CD when I was a kid. It's like, only hear what I say, I don't come off as a know-it-all? Alright, fair enough. There's nothing here. Alright, I guess when the arrow said go right. I thought because the thing opened. Solstice? I haven't really played it. Isometric game on the NES. It has a sequel on the Super Nintendo, right? Equinox or something? Blue Slimers? I mean, I'd give it a shot. I don't think right now I'm going through games. So I was gonna play DuckTales and actually try to beat it, but then I kind of got sidetracked playing really bad movie license games. And now I'm playing really good movie license games, or at the very least, comparatively, way better than fucking Hudson Hawk and Home Alone. The Immortal? Well, no. It's a hard game, not too hard, but challenging. Ah, okay. I mean, sometimes playing, like, the fun part about playing crap games is, number one, I have no intention of ever beating a crap game, and I don't care. Number two, I can quit playing whenever the fuck I want, so it's like, I could play a crap game for like 5 minutes, tell it it's crap, insult it completely, you know, it's like cathartic, and then leave and not care about it anymore. Yeah, you review the Immortal like how a lot of those like GamePro TV reviews are. It's like, whoa, in the Immortal, bro, you're this cool wizard, go around hacking stuff. Yeah, what's up? Oh, here's this orc guy's harshing my buzz. Am I interested in the Cyberpunks? I mean, everyone keeps talking about it. At some point I will play that game, but it's like, I'm not like, if I was into it, I'd be playing it right now. In other words, I would have already bought it on PC and stuff. My GPU is good enough to run it, but not good enough to do ray tracing. I don't have an RTX. So if I did play it, it wouldn't have the ray tracing, so no one would care. Because that's the only reason people give a fuck about that game, right? It's like, it's the ray tracing. Oh no, ray tracing that game's shit. I'm not the only one with this opinion. Apparently people who play the Xbox 360, or not the Xbox version and the PlayStation 4 version of the game are like, this game is poo-poo. This game is 2 out of 10. Look at all the user reviews on Metacritic. The only people giving it good reviews are people with RTX cards and people with PlayStation 5s. So maybe I'm not wrong. Like, the ray tracing makes the game so much better. No, but seriously, I hear like outside of maybe the high-end version, like the PS5 version, every other version's like super buggy right now. So that's kind of making people a little pissed off. But that'll pass. Like, it'll, you know, I feel like in a year or two it'll be just fine. The original animated Ghost in the Shell? Oh, you mean the one with what's it called? The one that the one that I got the wall poster to next to Batman? I haven't seen Blade Runner 2 yet though. But yeah, the cyberpunk noir theme is pretty badass. Is it a super short game? Is it one of those like games that's not very long, but you have shitloads of options? Yeah, I was thinking about switching out that poster with the Dragon Ball one. Actually, when I had a girlfriend, I got rid of that poster because she didn't like it, because, you know, it's a hot chick. And then I switched to a Dragon Ball one, but now I don't have that anymore. Maybe I should put up my Dead or Alive posters. What do you think of that, huh? That's the, like, no, seriously, like, you wouldn't believe how many girlfriends really hate my posters. And I'm like, all right, fine, I won't put up that poster. I don't even have, like, Penthouse or, like, you know what I mean? I don't even have anything like that. It's basically just, like, you know, it's like you're, like, a GTA poster, you know, like, with the chick on it, with the bikini or something. It's like, it's not, it's like, whatever. Though the Dead or Alive one, I can get. The Dead or Alive one's a little obnoxious. Do I have it here? I have it somewhere. I don't have it on the wall, obviously, but I think I might have it, like, close by. I could show it to you guys. Or maybe I could find it on the web. It's just the Dead or Alive girls in bikinis, and it shows their weight and their blood type. Oh, she drew video game characters? I feel like the length of the... It depends on the game, too, like... Oh, really? She broke up with you because you picked up a video game hooker? Man, some of them can get really sensitive about shit. A lot of it comes from really bad self-esteem. But that's not my fault. It's a girl. I guess it is. They always tell me, like, well, how would you feel if I put a bunch of beefcakes on posters? I was like, I wouldn't give a fuck. It's like, just because I have posters of stuff on the wall doesn't necessarily mean that, like, I'm that, you know, it doesn't mean that I'm that into them. It's just that, like, I like the aesthetic sometimes, or it's like, oh, I like that game. Do I still practice guitar lately? Not lately. Though, guitar is like Street Fighter. If I spend about a week playing it, I'll be as good as I ever was. So that's why I'm never worried too much. Like, if I picked it up now, I'd probably be... If I picked it up now, you know, I mean, I could still easily, like, play chords. And then my skill runs. Still pretty good. What I really gotta do, though, is just practice sweeping. what, like chords. Accuracy's still there. Yeah, so I don't worry about it too much in terms of like, I don't have to practice it every day. That's something you do when you start playing. Holidays in Texas, I mean, I guess weather-wise, like, it's been alright. Like, it'll never become fully winter in Texas. It'll always be more like fall, so that's pretty good. Outside of that, like, work, because I work at a grocery store, it was pretty bad during Thanksgiving, which is why you didn't see a lot of streams. Because we had a lot of shit that we had to get on the shelf. We were really busy. I was doing like 50-hour weeks. But what's it called? Christmas, not as bad. Like, it's probably gonna be bad, but like I say, it's a grocery store, so it's like people, you know, we deal in essentials, you know, like food and cleaning supplies and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe some things will go up, and what's it called? December's or Christmas is not so much a feast holiday like Thanksgiving. So I don't think, I mean, we'll probably sell more baked stuff, you know, for like cookies, like gingerbread cookies. We're selling a lot of gingerbread stuff. Extra hours is good for extra video games. Oh, you guys want to see my gets? You might be interested in this, Serial Wars. So I got some gets that I overspent for from Black Friday. They're not like amazing or anything, but I might as well, right? So when I bought the Analogue NT Mini, it came with this this wireless controller here, right? This 4-button wireless controller by 8-Bit Do. And I like it. It also has shoulder buttons too. And I liked it, so I was like, you know what? I want to get some wireless controllers for my Super Nintendo and my Genesis, so when I play in the bedroom, you know, I don't have the cables. Also, I you know, I have a dog, so having cables, if the dog walks over the cable, she could potentially pull the system down. So I got this this blue wireless Sega Saturn controller. Not bad. This is actually not 8-Bit Duo though. This is Retrobit, which is Retrobit, which are the guys that made my Ghost and Goblins NES controller, which is not bad. But yeah, this, I used it a little bit. This is not bad. It also can work on the Genesis too, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what else I got. There's the big one, but get some of this. So I bought that, and then I also bought a wireless Genesis 6-button controller, which I haven't used it yet, but like I like the feel of it. I have been using this Super Nintendo wireless controller, which it looks like a Super Famicom, so I kind of like that. Like when I buy these controllers, that's why I bought the blue Sega Saturn. I didn't want it to look like my actual Saturn controller. You know, I wanted it to look different, and same thing with this. I didn't want it to look like my Super Nintendo controller, and I figured, well, if it looks like a Famicom. And then there's like the big thing I bought. Oh, my Metallica shirt? Is this the one that says the delicate sounds of fucking on the back? You know, I wore this in school once. Like, in middle school once, and I didn't know it said that. I don't know, does it say that? I can't see my back, but I think that's what it says, right? Yeah, I apparently think. Alright, either way, the other one I got was this wireless arcade stick, which works on the Switch and the PC. But what I was thinking I could do with it is sync it up with the wireless for the NES so I could use it on that, but nah, it didn't work out. Even then, though, it's not bad. It's not as good as my Hori arcade stick. It's got a nice... It's definitely smaller, though, which I kind of like, because the Hori one's, like, this much bigger. So this might be pretty good for, like, you know, casually playing, like, Killer Instinct or something on the PC. Or, like, Street Fighter on the Switch. And that was pretty much it. I just bought those things. I just bought controllers. I want to save up for the Turbo, the Analog that they're making. Here, I'll see if I can show it. because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're making this. So they're making an analog duo, you know, basically like how my my NT Mini. But look at that, it's got HDMI out. I'll probably, hopefully, if I get the choice, I'll pick the white one. But it comes with the CD and the cartridge slot. 1 terabyte SSD. Oh, nice. Engineered, no emulation, but yeah, I can play that. It can use the original controller. It's got the CD-ROM, comes with a wireless, basically like those wireless controllers I showed. Also has the wired plug for the normal TurboGrafx. Takes TurboGrafx slots, so, and it's about $200, which is like much cheaper than what I was looking at to get the, yeah, limited Here's what bothers me though. It's not out yet, 2021. $200, price is right, but what bothers me is limited quantities, which means I better buy this thing as soon as I get it, because that's what happened with the Analogue NT Mini. You know what I mean? Because the Analogue NT Mini was $500, which was pricey, but it was limited quantities. Now, if you try to buy this thing, it's like 1,500 or something, right? Same thing's going to happen here, because if I look at everything else Analog makes, like if I look at their Super Nintendo shit, all of that shit's so, why is it so much cheaper? It's probably because it doesn't have a aluminum casing. Like, they're using plastic for one thing. I also think the reason the Analog has the power it has is because it also unofficially can play a whole bunch of other shit. They're FPGAs. Analog only makes FPGA. Yeah, engineered in FPGA, no emulation. So this is like as good as it's gonna get. But if I go to their other shit, like, you know, because they have the Super Nintendo Genesis, there's my NT Mini. Actually, they got a confusing website. Like, you think I could just, hold on. Oh, here we go. All right, but let's say I want to buy one of these. Like, let's say I want to buy the Super NT, right? Let's buy now. It's out of stock. Oh, it's out of stock here. And guess what? This sucker's going to be out of stock for a long time. And it's only $189, but I guarantee you it's like $400, $500 on eBay. Oh, but look, you see, it comes with that controller I showed earlier, right? So because I know this, I have to buy that TurboGrafx as soon as it comes out. Because even though it's only $200, if I don't get it when it's available from this website, it'll cost me way more. And I guess I like Analog because I'm playing an Analog right now. I guess because they're a small company. Like, you got to figure these are guys that probably are based in, like, Seattle, Washington. That's my thought, at least. And they get their shit, like, they get a manufacturing thing, and then they get a deal with a factory in China or something. And then they get a limited quantity shipped to them. And then they have to sell that quantity, right? And so I guess they don't want to over order because they don't want a huge amount of backstock. But they also, like, are a company that sells pricey consoles. That's what they were known for, right? The first thing they sold was a Neo Geo, but it was in a wood casing, and that was like 800 or so. So they always sold very like expensive, bizarre stuff. Now they're trying to sell like $200 FPGA consoles, which are solid consoles. Like, if you can't buy a Super Nintendo and you don't want to get, you don't want to go through all this bullshit that I go through, with the Frame Meister and all that, just buy one of their fucking machines that has HDMI. But I'll tell you why the Analogue NT Mini is so expensive. We might as well go with that, right? Why is it $500? To find out why it's $500, let's go on to Google. And let's type in Nes Rgb Mods. Okay. So let's say you want your NES to output RGB, so you got to buy this stuff for it, like the high def NES or the NES RGB or this stuff, right? And then you got to get it like put into the system. FPGA it's basically like programmable chips that can act like other chips. So all the emulation is done via hardware, not via software. So let's look at the high def NES. Let's check out Voltaire. Voltaire is the guy that modded my N64. So let's see how much he charges to install an HDMI on an actual NES system. $75. That's not bad. This used to be like $100. The problem with this mod, though, is that as soon as you install it, you don't have component out. In other words, you don't have audio video out. You just have HDMI out. So it was one or the other. The Analogue NT can do both. This is for the top loader. He's got some options. So yeah, that's not bad. So you're gonna spend like about $100 or $200 on an NES to get it RGB'd, basically, because they're not RGB'd. To get it professionally RGB'd, and then you don't get you have to pick either A, you're gonna go HDMI, right? Or you're gonna go, oh, this isn't even the HDMI mod. This is just the RGB audio. Okay. So this would be, you get RGB out of it, but you don't get HDMI. Where's HDMI? I thought that was the HDMI mod. There's the analog, but that one, that's what that, now the analog's what I'm playing at now. But so that's the high end. Let's see what they, oh, page not found. Okay, I guess analog, they're not selling it. I'm an HDMI kind of guy. I used to be a SCART RGB. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends too. Like, see, for me, I have a CRT, so the normal stuff is great for that. But when I stream, I'm all HDMI, so I need an HDMI solution to stream old games.